Okay. Okay, we're on the record for the day is July 20th, 2023. In attendance is Allison Cartwright, Christina Miller, and Leslie Harris, the chair for the IAOP board. We are going to review the minutes. Have you had a chance to review the minutes from April 6th?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I have.
Okay, may I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Second,
Second?
thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
The motion is carried. The minutes have been approved. At this time, I'd like to introduce Stephanie Everett, the Executive Director, for her report.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Being here is so morning. So we have a brief report for you today. I just want to update you on some of the things that have happened in the past couple of months that have occurred here at the office and in and around the city. So as you may have heard, the FY24 budget has passed. Some of the things that we were anticipating receiving, we did receive in our budget. That includes a 10,000 increase of the budget item that we were working on for the BIPOC consultant work. That is a continuation. So we had 40,000 FY23, we now have 50,000. So that is a continuation of the work and efforts that we were doing around increasing the retention, promotion, and hiring efforts within BPD. So again, so that is just to strengthen and have more of a reflection of BPD internally look like the community in which it serves. So we will be working with BPD to expend those dollars in a way that will be helpful. As you may have heard, they did hire a new diversity recruitment director who we were working with when we first started this project. Susan Helmy, we call her Susie. She will be helping to lead these efforts. Some of the things that came out of the report from the consultant included really having some more leeway and knowledge of when promotion exams will occur. There was suggestion on the database being accessible about the recruitment efforts of BPD. So that's more of an external effort. It's been nationally recognized that there has been some decline in just civilians wanting to join BPD, joining law enforcement as a whole. So just trying to figure out working with BPD, we are a third party when it comes to what's going on internally with BPD. So I've talked to members of BPD about ways in which we can use this $50,000 to help them in their efforts in their own mission to increase their diversity internally. So we will come up with some ways in which they can expend these dollars and really driving home ways, not just increasing law enforcement as officers, but also the civilian population. As you know, there's 911 operators, there's lawyers there. I'm always going to be pushing people to be lawyers. And there's policy and work. There's so many different careers in BPD that I don't think the general public as a whole knows what that is, and ways that we seek out recruitment. I always tell people we need to get away from just thinking that people are going to go into city of Boston.gov or Boston.gov to seek out job opportunities. A lot of members of BIPOC don't believe that they belong in government, and so they won't look for those opportunities. So working with BPD, we will find out ways that they can be creative in actively seeking recruitment efforts that are not traditional. And that's almost dormant of just waiting for people to come to them. They should actively go out and seek people. So we'll be using those funds to help them be more creative in their efforts of recruitment. And again, trying to figure out ways to be more proactive in their promotion and retention of their current members. We also received $8,000 for stipends to be given to our youth advisory council. Very excited about that. We do believe in, similar to you all, that our board members should be paid. I don't have any advisors other than, these youth that are coming in. I think it's important that we remember, I've said this, I think all year, all fiscal year, that while the marches have ended, our feet are still moving. The work that you do, the work that the civilian board does, the work of the entire staff, is evident that there is still work that needs to be done on the social justice front, especially when it comes to police reform and building up the work of community efforts, and they're building trust within the Boston Police Department and vice versa, having the police department see the community as a whole through different lenses than it has in the past. And the way that we do that is make sure that these voices continue to be loud. And having the Youth Advisory Council that was really just started off with our 2 youths that we had last summer, and now we have 2 more, and then we also have our high school intern, would be somewhere, and our college intern. Those voices need to be very much centered voice in our office, and in this continued movement toward building those relationships. And in doing that, they should be compensated for the knowledge that they're breathing into all of us. So we are working with the administration on how to make that happen. They are not part of the ordinance. And so really figuring out how we bring them in is a little bit complicated, but we are working through those kinks, and we're sure that we'll get that done. So we're hoping that by the fall, we'll have these stipends all situated so they meet bi-monthly and really figuring out their structure. They're a good group of kids. And as I told you all from the beginning, I want them to learn government, and I also want them to learn how to build out boards, because it's not enough for me to just give it to them. They need to learn it, because these are future leaders, but they're also job skill sets that they should take with them once they get out of high school and go on things that really create their own generational wealth of things that they should do. So I do applaud everyone here or on our youth advisory group who have been working effortlessly with them, or putting a lot of effort into it effortlessly. They've been working very hard with them individually and as a group to make sure that they are on track of completing their goals. I've already given you basically the BIPOC update when I was telling you all the things that we're trying to do with the next round of the additional $10,000. So once we have really put together the recommendations that have come in from our partners with Conan and Harris, our consulting group, and Strategy Matters, we will get that out to you. We did get a report from them. We just want to strengthen it with the internal group that we have with DPD and the Equity Inclusion Cabinet, and make sure that it's something that's really great and strong and doable. There's too many reports that go out and nothing is done. We really want to set some real strong goalposts that have time frames of things to be implemented. And now that we have this funding to say where it can go and how it can be done, we will share that with you, hopefully at your next meeting. And for some of you all may know, the chair and I had the honor of sitting with the commissioner on June 15th and hosting a get to know Commissioner Cox. It was well attended. We had media presence, which was really good. It was something that the community asked for, and I'm happy to have answered that call. It's another thing that we're doing as OPAD. We know that we are a government entity, and so it's not just getting the community to trust DPD, we have to get them to trust OPAD as well. And so we did get people who were coming to us saying they haven't seen the commissioner, they had things that they wanted to say. And so heeding that call, we had the commissioner available, which I think was one of his first community meetings where it wasn't a media, outlet. It was really just for them to ask questions. We had Viviana, who was our summer youth from last summer. She served as a mediator for a portion of it. She had a fireside chat where she asked the commissioner some very hard questions. She came up on her own. Viviana graduated the week before, I believe, from Boston Latin School. She's going to, what is the name of her college? What is it?
Fremont.
Yes, it's, this fall. So it was like a good rounding out for the week for her, that she got to participate in that. And she came in last year as such a quiet student, and I was like, we're gonna break that from you. So not only did we break that, she actually had to sit and do a one-on-one in front of all these people, and she did an excellent job. And there was some hiccups, but I will say that, the chair did a great job in helping to reel all that stuff in, and, it's been well received. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback about the availability that we were able to offer the community. I don't know if the chair wanted to add anything.
It was an enjoyable program. Community was there. That's what was important. And they asked hard questions. And Viviana did a wonderful, wonderful job. I was very proud of her. You know, and I think the commissioner enjoyed it. And I think that was important, that he would come to another one if we did it because of the way this one went.
Yes. Yeah, it took a turn after it ended. I keep reminding people, our event ended and it took a turn, so we were done.
Yeah.
So the fact that we were able to get through it, and there was a lot of positivity about how it was received and how he was able to, the commissioner's a great speaker, and he will answer those hard questions. And given the space, I believe the community can grow to trust in him and what he is saying. You just have to allow him to speak, and that's going to be, again, part of that road that we're trying to build out as we go, getting the community to start to build these relationships with BPD. As I was saying, we have our 2 new youth in here. We'll continue to do that year after year. It is a great opportunity for our youth not to paper push, but to actually learn what we do. The chair has come in, our chair from CRB has come in. We've had a series of speaker programs. They've left the building to go visit other governmental agencies, and I think they're enjoying it. I hear them talk a lot. Yes, very determined to make sure that their public buildings are not a mystery to them, and the process is not a mystery to them. They should be involved early on, so hopefully. And we also told her she's now part of the family. She doesn't get to leave and go on about her life in the fall. Well, her after, obviously, I had to tell about Viviana. The chair can tell you about Viviana too. We've not left Viviana alone at all. And she's been gone, she's left the program that time. And so, YAC again, it's going to be in existence as far as we're concerned, as long as OPAC's in existence. And we'll get more information to you once they become an official council with pay. So their official council, it just need to be an official council with pay. And once that happens, we'll
Sort of pictures with the students.
That's wonderful.
We had a good time.
Very nice.
Yeah.
They loved it. I missed you, but when I came back, they told me I just missed you. And they were on cloud 9. So if you want to speak to them, if you haven't been set up for, please reach out to Karen and they will let you. I'm pretty sure that they'll have a million and one questions. I don't think they're shy. They have a lot of questions about their future. They're in high school. This is the time that we need to let them know that there is no limitations to what they can do. I've pointed to the building in the back and let them know if I can come from the shelter and be sitting here as ED, they can do anything they want. So please make yourself available if you can. They need to know that we are everywhere and they can be too. And that's all I have. If you have any other questions or any other members, staff members have anything else to add, please do. I guess my last thing, this may be my last time with you all. I guess I should end there, huh?
So where do you stand at this point?
I have a meeting I have a hearing, I should say the right term. I have a hearing on August 2nd with the Governor's Council. And that's all I know for now. I don't know when the vote will happen or when.
Generally, it's a week after.
Yes, so
Oh,
they haven't been meeting regularly,
Yeah.
and so,
Summer's a hard time.
yes, so, I think the goalpost is to have the hearing on August 2nd, and then possibly the vote August 9th. And then I don't know when the swearing in will happen. I think that's a governor's schedule situation. But potentially this is the last time I will sit in the chair as your executive director over this meeting. I've had the honor to serve in this role, and I'm not trying to cry, so don't do this. We've done this already. For over 2 years. That the systems have been built, the people have been placed. And for me, who sits in that office next, has a great team, has great members on the board, and the work will carry on. I believe, as I told my team, they'll miss me as a person, but they're good. You all are set. There's board members that you need to have replace the governor's office, the mayor's office, very much aware of that. And I've talked to the chair about coming up with names too, if you all have any suggestions. Julian is gonna officially resign, let me know about that. So if you have any names, I've suggested they do get another attorney. I need to reach out to the person I spoke to you about, or I had to speak to you about social worker, is adding this person who replaced Jossie, who's a social worker. I'm happy to reach out to that person. But I won't leave without having those T's crossed and those I's dotted of at least recommendations into the mayor's office. But I've always said I was a founding ED, and I think that the things I needed to do to get this place up and running, including having a space for you all to do these up and running things, they're done. And I look forward to the next chapter, and I thank you all for your grace as we were getting these systems together and getting the control in place.
Okay, we're gonna.
Don't be fall off.
I know.
I'll let that go.
And Allison can't get rid of me even if she wanted to, I know.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Ever.
Chair, can I have the floor for
Yes,
2
ma'am.
minutes? I just want to thank you for your commitment and vision. You've created this, right? You've created this from the ground up, and it's powerful. It's so powerful. And that legacy, the ripples are going to continue, right? And you're young, so you have more legacy to establish. And I'm excited about it, but I just want to thank you for your hard work, for your commitment, for your leadership, vision. It's such a powerful thing to create and make. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
pardon me. As many of you know, I will say this to everybody. As many of you know, I sat on the Boston Police Report. The body that came up with the concept of this office, and in fact, I sat on the subcommittee that really dug deep and came up with the idea of this office, and we put it to the mayor, and it was accepted. And I just have to say, as Stephanie knows, she's one of the people who came to mind when this office was just, it was an idea. It was on paper, but you put some flesh onto the bones of what we started, and you took that. It's like handing off a baton in a race. I love sports analogies, but when you're doing a relay, it's important that the person you hand that baton to, you have confidence that they're going to take it further. And you did that. And I cannot tell you how proud I am and how thankful I am for you saying yes when you were asked to take this position and doing it and building something out of pretty much nothing. You took an idea and made it real. And to all of you, the staff, thank you for all that you guys have done, because you're a part of something that set a foundation, and that's something for each and every one of you to be very proud of. So Stephanie, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because this was, this is good today.
You gotta get it over
This
with.
was one of the, out of all the things that came out of, the task force, this was something that was actually real and realized. So thank you.
And yeah, we did ours. So, I ain't gonna cry in front of nobody. Not today, not today.
I'm trying to like hold it in. Michelle already did this a week ago. I try to keep off the people who make me cry in public.
Let's keep coming.
That's okay. Next, is there any other business that we need to cover before we go into executive session? Okay, I'll entertain a motion that we move into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Before you go on this, we should have stopped. I think you have to ask if anyone, I don't know who's here and are there.
Yeah, so I think I need to leave for executive session. I'm with WCBD. I'm with Brittany Johnson. Hi.
Hello.
Here to learn and introduce myself, and, I'm new to the area, new to WCBD. I was at the meeting June 15th, so just here to learn more about what OPAD does. But I think I need to leave during this part, right?
It'll be a close,
So-
yes, but thank you for coming.
Thank you, and I'll reach out by email just to further introduce myself.
Do you want any, so,
I have your card and your information, but
okay,
you're leaving, but I'll touch base with you guys.
I'll walk you out and make sure you get everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have your card, so I can. Oh,
Thank you.
There is one other thing I need to ask. There are no police officers here, but normally I would be asking if there was a police officer who wanted their case heard in public. But since there are none here, we'll waive that. And so let's take a break, 5-minute break, and go off the record.
You guys need to vote, executive.
Yes, we close out the first session. We voted to go into executive session. And we'll stop here and we'll convene an executive session in 5 minutes.